Welcome back to Horrible, the show that stays on brand by doing its seasonal review fashionably late. But before we get into our funny and frightening flick, I've been working very hard at learning this new software so I can make my own damn intro and nothing can stop it and get in the way. And all I have to do is press this button right here to debut it for you. And away we go! Whoa, this isn't my intro. What is this? Dude, there's a timer? What am I really afraid of? I think I might need an expert for this.
What's up, LonGo?
T, thank God. I need your help. I was trying to debut my awesome new intro and I got hacked by this Halloween party thing. It's asking me what I'm afraid of. What do I do?
Just type what you're afraid of.
Come on, I watched Halloween 2 at age 5 and I laughed my way out of the theater after I watched Blair Witch. I'm not afraid of anything.
Come on, man. We all have fears deep down.
I guess if I had to pick something, that didn't work. How could that not be it? I'm running out of time.
Hurry up, hurry. You gotta be really honest with yourself. Come on.
Oh, I got it. That was a close one. I feel exposed and a little bit embarrassed, but at least I'm safe, right?
Whew.
All right, man. I got to get to reviewing this movie, Halloween Party. Have you seen it? You should really check it out. It's great.
Peace out.
Later. Here at Horrible, it's always October, so despite the fact that it's actually early November, I decided to keep the festivities going by reviewing the horror comedy Halloween Party. So one of my favorite things to do as a horror fan is to scour all the streaming services searching for these overlooked gems because the genre has a lot of them. That's why I found Halloween Party, and it honestly sits pretty close to the top of the list of movies that I've discovered like this. I will do a real spoiler-free review real quick, just in case you haven't seen it and you're thinking about watching it. Released in 2019, Halloween Party does a great job of combining its creepy and its comedic elements into one very, very entertaining movie. The premise of Halloween Party is basically what my intro was. A little graphic pops up, says you're invited to a Halloween party. You have to type in your worst fear before the timer goes out, or that fear is going to come and kill you. The cast all nail their roles and play their characters extremely likable. The scene-to-scene dialogue in this film is one of my favorite aspects of it, and even in my review, I'm not going to be able to do all of it justice, so it's even more reason to go watch it. And above all, you can tell everybody involved with this project had genuine love for it and for the genre, and these are the type of movies that really need more shine. So without further ado, let's get into the breakdown. Kind of like this lighting. We're rocking with it. We open with our main character, Grace, played by Amy Groening, looking through her roommate Zoe's photos of her trip to Thailand. Zoe's played by Marietta Long. She's flipping through the photos, she sees a hot guy, asks who it is, and we get the great line of, "Why did you come back from Dylan?" Instantly, this character is likable. As Grace is in the middle of the self-realization that she hates nursing and she doesn't know what she's doing, we're interrupted by the intro of two other characters, Bubbles in the Tub, as he's credited, to the intro of Darren Danowski, HIV negative. And then his buddy, who looks like if you ordered Jimmy Neutron off Wish and they gave you Jimmy Electron. And he comes in asking if this is the roofie party. No, man, it's the Halloween party. Jokes aside, really great in their roles. Bubbles in the Tub had a YouTube video went viral when he was a baby because he was farting in a bathtub and made bubbles. Props to him for rocking it, though. Then, as Zoe is cleaning out her closet, asking Grace if she wants to go to the Halloween party the boys are throwing, they said it. They said the name of the movie. She drops a weight onto the floor of the closet, computer screen glitches, apparently ghosts, goblins, and vampires will also be in attendance. Oh my. Zoe identifies it as a Halloween meme. Is it really a meme? I don't know if it really meets those qualifications. She finally puts her real worst fear, which is vagina spiders. And she's saved and doesn't get the dreaded clip art witch graphic of doom. Grace then tries to add logic to her illogical fear. Then asks Zoe what she's afraid of, and then she goes into a sizzling tangent. She's basically afraid of pig people. They eat everything. Then the meme is on Zoe's phone, and right when she's about to put in pig people, she goes, "Well, Grace, don't you want to see the witch?" And she lets the timer run out. They exit the room to leave, only to get ambushed by a Brover dose. All the guys are trying to, jokingly flirt with them, to which they retort and hit Bubbles with a small dick joke, seeing his YouTube video. She goes with the "I was an infant" and then uses the George Costanza defense. Zoe gets dropped off at the mall because she works in a clothing store and they have to do overnight inventory. I actually work for an inventory company, but I really doubt that they would ever just have two people doing an overnight inventory, but who gives a shit. I really liked the concept of having this suspenseful scene and setup. Joey's sitting there counting away and she gets a text from Grace on her phone, and in her phone, Grace is saved as Graceface. Hey, wait a second. then gets a picture of just legs on the ground. And then gets a really darkened picture. It's not always easy to use technology and horror in a clever way, but she uses the phone to lighten up the picture, and then you can see the creepy pig outline. She's freaked out. Of course she has to go check on it, because horror movie. Space like behind the stores in the mall, if you've ever been in those areas, it feels like you could get murdered at any second. It was definitely a very effective setting, and I liked it being used in this situation. But Zoe quickly nopes the fuck out of there when she sees something, and then starts shuffling through all the security cameras. She stops and sees on the feet, and then they get drug away. Then it stops on this scary looking pig mask person thing staring into the camera, and then seeing that shit ups her nope level to infinity, and she tries to skedaddle. Door's locked, and so of course she has to go run and hide. We get what I think is a really, really good suspense scene. You know, I love me some red lighting. The hoof shot of the pig person is super effective. I like that they used vague shots of the pig person up until it sniffs out Zoe, pounces, and kills her. Grace is devastated, but she ends up seeing this bloody crime scene photo of like a broken pig mask. So the pig person was wearing a pig mask? Zoe was killed by a bacon-wrapped pork chop. And all that was even before the title card. 3 weeks later, and Grace is suspicious of this whole incident, and she ends up going over to the computer science and engineering department. Nerd territory. Side note, I really like this campus. It's fucking gorgeous. St. Mary's something or other. She enters the lair of the Unlaid, and we're introduced to our other main character, Spencer, played by our awesome guest T. Thomason. It's a really funny scene as they all jokingly lean into the nerd stereotype, being shocked to be around a pretty girl. Wait a second, Grace and Spencer? What's going on here? We find out that Zoe was partially consumed. They eat everything. They then have a back and forth where technological logic is explained, and I'm not going to try to pretend like I understand any of it. But the gist is this shit is weird. Found over some 80s movies, which leads to a fun meta conversation about will they fuck movies, which Spencer has to end awkwardly by saying, oh, well, no, not us. And Grace responds with, good thing we're not in a movie. Bubbles comes bursting in with condolences. Meme pops up and it says Halloween party for Darren. Bubbles is not taking this very seriously. He's typing in joke answers. This is an example of how the movie balances both genres very well. It's played comedically, but as the viewer, you're sitting there like, hey man, you better finish that off. He doesn't, and the timer runs out. As they're leaving, Court approaches with condolences in the form of an invitation to their frat's Halloween party. They said the thing again. And he nails the guy who gives you douche bumps, as Spencer says, as he tells Spencer he's looking sexual. Then Spencer gives us some bubbly backstory into what Bubbles' real worst fear is, the tall man, and apparently it was everybody's back when they were kids. The tall man who loves him some denim tried to snatch Bubbles off of a playground, and luckily he was stopped, but it really fucked Bubbles up. Cut to Bubbles in class, and listen, if you made a horror movie and you don't have a character in a classroom that stares out to the window at something potentially scary, did you really make a horror movie? He uses the tried and true Ramathorn method, sees it's the tall man and starts freaking out, and then the tall man starts making a beeline towards the building. Whether or not it was intended, the scene kind of felt like a mini shout out to It Follows. Bubbles is all paranoid in line at a food truck, thinking he sees the tall man everywhere. The scene ends with a weird, stretchy face jump scare with big red eyes. Then we get a cool scene with Spencer and Grace as some lore is established. The way they do this is kind of basically with the ARG. I thought that was a really interesting and thematic inclusion. Find out that Bubbles actually died, and that kind of is an anticlimactic end to an interesting character. Grace and Spencer end up finding out that the source of the meme generating is from the closet. We transition into a library where they're getting information. Part of the school used to be an old hospital. We find out about the balloon babies and the jelly children who were apparently affected by some chemical spill that caused their flesh to grow uncontrollably. The scene ends on a great comedic exchange. We get some solidly grotesque graphics as they watch the Balloon Babies documentary. Spencer asks about her fear of the eight-legged freaks in the sheets, and then she asks him what his deepest fear is. Bears. No reason, no backstory, just cause bears. Honestly, couldn't agree more. I can't believe those fuckers are just out there existing and shit. They decide they need to go see the doctor that was actually in the documentary responsible for taking care of them. I absolutely adore the character Dr. McHale and the performance by Shelley Thompson. It at times reminds me of Aunt Martha from Sleepaway Camp, who was played by the late Desiree Gould, who unfortunately passed away in May 2021. Rest in peace. Dr. McHale's flipping through old pictures, reminiscing. Then they hit say the name of the movie bingo, as we find out that the balloon babies were called the Halloween party because they always had to wear masks because of the disfigured faces. They go up and see Arthur. This dude has basically every medical device hooked up to him you could possibly imagine, barely hanging on by the threadiest of threads. Amy Groening does a great job in this scene, a very awkward comedy as she basically has to carry the dialogue herself. They show him the picture of the silhouettes and he Pizza! They decide that they'll just delete the file and then seal up the floor and it'll be the end of it. Unfortunately, the Nerd Squad got a little too curious and it got forwarded to one of the frat boys. The frat house set deck is so on point, just well done. Spencer comes in, grabs the laptop, pulls up the thing, and one of the frat boys has to put his name in, and he ends up basically bringing up this repressed memory, and the answer is alcoholic mother, rough stuff. The frat boys are no longer entertained. Then, oh shit, it's a Halloween party for Spencer, and the frat boys hold him down so that he can't type in the answer, and the timer runs out. I like how the frat boy fart party, played by Taylor Olson, dwells on Spencer's exit one-liner. I feel like he does a really good job adding a lot of subtle comedy to a lot of these scenes. Because his fear was unleashed, the Halloween party is now free to roam. And here's by far my favorite sequence in the whole movie. I like how they check in with each person as the suspense builds in each situation. The concept of having that happen to you while you're trying to take a shit is absolutely terrifying. That balloon baby's face will haunt your nightmares. Then fart party's in the kitchen and there's a giant mound of garbage with a sign that says, if the garbage spills over, you must take it out. House rules. Because a frat place is exactly the kind of spot that a group of people are going to basically play trash Jenga in order to just be lazy. I really like the scene where Spencer comes out and is threatening the trick-or-treater thinking he's one of the balloon babies. He just does a great job committing and really hitting that comedic timing. Grace finally gets the text that the Halloween party is out and about while she's taking a bath in a bathroom that has a tub and a shower? What kind of college is this? During a phone call, Spencer and Grace decide to actually do the smart thing. Let's hit the airport and get the fuck out of Dodge. This plan is prolonged by some more duo scene suspense building, which both end in very unsettling visuals and meet up in the van at the parking lot, which they then decide, fuck it, Cleveland. Another really cool use of incorporating technology into horror. The backup cam for the van sees one of the balloon babies. We get another run-up jump scare thing, which, you know, I'm not always the biggest fan of, but here I feel like it works. With the balloon baby on the car, I don't know why they still didn't just drive away. They get out of the back and take off, but whatever. Horror movie. Admittedly, this is the one part of the movie that I felt really suffers from a pacing problem. We get a really good jump scare with the multi-limbed jelly child in the basement, but other than that, it gets a little repetitive with the running around in the dark. It's just slightly different lighting. Probably just could have been shortened a little bit is all. But once Grace decides that the balloon babies are really just singing,
"Let me out! Let me out! I'm begging for help! I'm screaming for help! Please come let me out!"
I then enjoyed that suspense scene because it gave them a chance to mess with found footage aspect a little bit. One of the balloon babies grabs Spencer and kind of holds him hostage, and Grace just takes the fuck off. Sprints back up to Zoe's closet and takes the weight, starts breaking the floor to free the Halloween party as they're trying to break into the door and free her from existence. Really cool imagery of them breaking through the door, but then when she breaks the floor, it kind of just looks like an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Cut forward sometime after as Grace is looking at a picture of Spencer, assuming he didn't make it. Fucking heartbroken. Grace goes back to the doctors to tell her that she freed the balloon babies and that there's now nothing to worry about. Only to find out that, hey, you done fucked up. She says, why the hell do you think we bring them in the first place? Do you have any idea what you've done? Cut to Grace on a plane on a trip to Thailand, apparently. Probably to go find Dylan. The meme pops up on all the headrests and Grace starts freaking out. The female is afraid of spiders crawling inside her and the guy is afraid of bears. One girl looks down and there's a spider and you hear the bear growling. That's why this movie fucking rocks, because you know what? You do not introduce vagina spiders, reference it multiple times in the movie, and then not give us vagina spiders. We got our vagina spiders. I really love this ending scene. I feel like it's a nod to two movies at once. The whole plane setup and situation is just such obvious Final Destination vibes. I really feel like having the bears and the spiders on the plane is just like saying what up to snakes on a plane. So that was Halloween Party. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's a really entertaining ride. I feel like because they did a really good job with both the aspects of comedy and horror, it gives it a lot of replay value. And if you enjoy it, it should absolutely become a part of your seasonal rotation every October. So shout out writer-director Jay Dahl. I hope to see more stuff from you in the genre in the future. And an overflowing garbage can amount of love goes out to T for being so generous with your time. T is actually a super talented musician as well. I'm going to link his YouTube channel in the description. You should definitely go check it out. He even has a track with Sarah McLachlan. If you all have any gems that you love and that you would maybe want to see me review and cover, let me know. I'm definitely open to suggestions. If you don't, well, you know, that's just horrible. Lesson to pass LonGo here. Oh, shit. Can't shatter the illusion, you know? Oh, I was fact-checking some stuff from the movie for the video. I ran across all the credited names for the balloon babies, and I thought they were so damn hilarious that I had to share them with everyone. Oh yeah, blah, 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 horrible.